Hi everyone, welcome or welcome back to Novel Idea. My name is Dia, and today we are going to be doing a weekly wrap-up because I did not post one last week due to becoming a grandma twice over again. I have been a little busy, so I'm sorry for leaving you guys high and dry, but I am here now and we're gonna talk about the books that I have finished and what I'm in the middle of. All right, so let's jump in and get started. The first book that I'm going to tell you about is Sound the Deep Waters. This is the book of women's Victorian poetry that I was reading for Victober. And I was reading Rossetti's poems out of there, Christina Rossetti, and was reading these with Gemma from Gemma Books. And we had a great time being able to read them together. I don't think that either of us felt like we fully understood the poetry, but we really enjoyed the poetry. I love being able to talk with Gemma about it. It was just really nice to have somebody that was like, yeah, it could mean this. I don't really know. But I'm happy that I got to read more of Rossetti. The only thing that I had read of hers prior to this was Goblin Market, which I really enjoyed, but it's a very different kind of poem to most of her poetry works. And so I was happy to have some of her shorter works to read with Gemma and really enjoyed that. Then I read Trilby by by Georges du Maurier. And this was a huge surprise. So I had no idea really what to expect. I was told that it had some influence in Phantom of the Opera, but I didn't know what influence or how. And then I was also told that it influenced the hat, the Trilby hat. Wow, what a story. So this is about a music teacher who never has a student that quite measures up to be what he needs them to be in order to make him a famous music teacher and make him wealthy. And he doesn't necessarily care deeply about the wealth. He cares very much though about the students that leave him being ones that everybody respects and therefore respects him as a music teacher. One day he discovers that he can use hypnotism in order to make the students hit the right pitches, hit them the right way, and also to perform well. And so this whole story revolves around his obsession with one student in particular who's considerably younger than him. And he not only hypnotizes her to be a wonderful opera singer, but he hypnotizes her to also fall in love with him. So it's this moral dilemma kind of story. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was wonderful. I gave it an A-, and the only reason for the minus was because it ended exactly like I thought it would. And so I just wish that it would have had something that wasn't quite so predictable. then I began reading Perdido Street Station by China Mievielle, and I DNF'd this. So this had beautiful writing. I was really enjoying the world building, but every little thing was overly sexualized in this book. And when I say overly, I mean like way over the top. And I also didn't love the direction that he was going with the subject matter. But this world was fascinating. And I got to page 400 in this, 401 actually, and was almost to part 5, and I DNF'd it. I just could not take anymore. So that one I DNF'd. Then I needed something kind of palate cleansing, and I read Garlic and the Vampire, which is a reread for me, but I didn't remember a lot of the little details, and this was just so good. It's just a good story. So if you don't know, this is about a witch who has a garden, and she has enchanted some of the vegetables in her garden to be her helpers. And one day, a vampire moves back into the neighborhood. So he used to live there a long time ago. And he is moving back into the neighborhood, and they are all afraid of the vampire. But vampires are supposed to be afraid of garlic. And so they send Garlic to make the vampire leave the neighborhood again. It was just lovely. So strong A on this one. Then I read Cazadora. This is by Romina Garber. I didn't tell you, but Garlic is by Bree Paulson. Sorry about that. Okay. This is by Romina Garber, and this is the sequel to Lobizona. Romina is an Argentinian author, and this flows very naturally from the English into, I'm gonna say Portuguese. I'm not positive about that, but I think that's what it is. Flows very easily from English into Portuguese. I believe that there are other variants of Spanish in here also, and she just does it so naturally. Lobizona is the first book. We are with Manuela, who has grown up in the human world and does not know that she is a werewolf, basically. And in the world that is within our world that we don't see or know of, girls are not supposed to be werewolves. They have brujas and they have lobizón, but they do not have lobizona. The whole thing basically is about overcoming prejudices and allowing people to be who they are supposed to be, whether or not that fits into your little box of what you have always known or not. And so in the continuation in Cazadora, all of that kind of comes to a head. And it's a beautiful story. It is so well written. The only thing that I didn't like about Cazadora, as much as I liked Lobizona, is that Cazadora has a lot more of the teenage angst in it. I still liked it. I still enjoyed it. It was an A-, and I loved it. I told my friend Angela from Literature Science Alliance, I told her that I wish that there was another one coming out. Like, it feels like it could lend itself to another book. But as of right now, it's just going to be a duology. So I'm left with a lot of questions. Like, I want to know a little bit more about this story, but probably I'm not going to get it. So, last book that I finished was Angel Mage. And Angel Mage is by Garth. I keep forgetting to cover up these stickers, you guys. Angel Mage is by Garth. It is fascinating. It is absolutely fascinating. This was a strong A for me, almost an A+. And so this is the story of a world where through icons, people can ask for help from angels and archangels and have them do their request, basically. When the icons are used, usually there is a progression of life that is kind of taken from them. So they start to develop wrinkles and gray hair and start to age much more quickly if they use the icons too often. However, our main protagonist in the story is someone who has found a way to bring angels into herself and does not age. And so when our story opens, something has happened that has caused an archangel to shatter. And the shattering of that angel has caused his kind of dominion that he has dominion over in this world. His dominion, those people of that dominion now cannot receive any kind of help from angels, or number one, they will turn to ash, or they will become monsters. And so they have to now wear a certain color so that they are known, it's known that these people cannot receive angelic help. Story kind of begins to unfold where we find out that what has caused this ash or these monsters to happen is the shattering of this archangel, and that she was responsible for that. And it was fascinating. It was absolutely fascinating. It was so well written. A fast-paced book. I didn't want to put it down. I really, really enjoyed it. So again, just a strong A. So what am I in the middle of? I currently am in the middle of, are you okay? I'm currently in the middle of Ellen Montgomery's Among the Shadows. I'm still reading that with Courtney from Courtney Reads. We're almost done. I think we have like 2 more stories in it. I am also in the middle of The Seance by John Harwood, or Hargrave. Let me get it. Let me see. Let me see it. You gonna get up here? Okay. So, Harwood, John Harwood, The Seance. And I am just about halfway in this book, and I'm loving it. I am not sure that I totally get what is happening, but he is building suspense. He is using dreams and nightmares and sleepwalking and clairvoyance and all of these other things to tell the story. And he's using different people and different perspectives, and somehow I know he's gonna weave them together. So I'm enjoying this one a lot. It feels like the perfect time of year to be reading it, and so I'm really happy about that. And then I also am in the middle of, oh, that's what it is. So I don't want to get up again. I started The Lies of Locke Lamora. Now, this is a book that I have DNF'd twice, but I have a good friend whose reading taste lines up with mine quite often, and she loved this book. And she was surprised at how much she loved this book. And she pushed through some things that I had not previously pushed through. And so I picked it up, and I am going to try it one more time and see if third time's a charm for The Lies of Locke Lamora. I will say that so far, I'm not loving it, but I'm not that far into it, and I'm not past the point where I DNF'd it the last time. So we will see with that one. But that is what I am currently in the middle of and what I'm reading, and I'm having a great month so far. Our little grandsons are just absolutely precious. We're spending as much time with my son's family as we can right now, and trying to be as helpful as possible. And that's the reason why I have been kind of not around, a little more quiet than normal, but I'm trying to find a balance. So hang in there with me. So anyway, I hope that you guys had a wonderful weekend. That is everything that I have for you, I think. Pretty sure. So thanks for joining me, everybody. And I would love to know what you are enjoying right now. Tell me down in the comments what it is that has really captured your attention during this month of October so far. I can't believe we're over halfway through. And I will see you in the next video. Like if you liked it, subscribe if you want to. Bye, everyone.